Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Premier League prediction video with me, MK from MK Darts, and Dean from over at Darts News Channel.
Hello once again, everybody.
Right, today before we get going, we'll just touch on the UK Open, which is of course this weekend coming up.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. As we know, slightly different format. Every single tour card holder is going to be there. Then we've got a couple of Riley's qualifiers, which include some big names. I'd say arguably the biggest one, we've got Wes Newton, former Premier League player, a world top tenner. We've also got some pretty high-profile early round games. We've got Luke Humphries, who'll be premiering as a contender tomorrow night in Exeter. He's going to be taking on the Dutch destroyer Vincent van der Voort. We've got Richard North against Ronnie Hybrex, Tony Alcinas, who of course took out Peter Wright at the Worlds, against the World Championship semi-finalist Nathan Aspinall. Mickey Mansell against the informed Danny Noppert. Pretty excited about that one. Danny Noppert's been playing some great stuff, as we've seen on the Pro Tours recently in Wigan and Barnsley. 9 data, quite a few semi-finals. We've got a good game between two of the European lads with Gabriel Clemens and Zoran Lerchbacher. Gabriel Clemens made it all the way to a final on a Pro Tour at the weekend.
Yeah, he's playing some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's a great player actually, and I think he's getting more confident. He could be really dangerous. Two other ones that I actually just picked out as well. Former World Championship finalist Kirk Shepherd against Jonathan Worsley, who is a Welsh. He's a real talent actually. I watched him play against Lewis on the Pro Tour last weekend, I think it was. And he was class. Lost to Adrian Lewis like 6-5, but it was such a good game.
Yeah.
And then we've got Scott Baker, the mod, who's also hit 9 data in the first few weeks on the Pro Tour, taking on Rod Harrington's son Ryan. So those are the ones I picked out. I think there'll be some really good.
Yeah, it'll be some fairly heavy going because, of course, there's 6 stages, and rounds 1 through 4 will happen on Friday, so it'll be fairly heavy going. Coverage in the UK on ITV4, again, free to air, which is good for everybody.
And even better for everybody that the fans will actually be allowed into Butlins Minehead this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good start. This year, the weather a little bit better. In fact, the best February we've had on record. So
yeah,
it's
with last year, where this exact tomorrow last year would have been the Premier League night in Exeter that had to get cancelled, leading to the double down in Holland. The back-to-back nights of the Premier League in Holland. So really good to see that we're going to have a great night at the West Point in Exeter tomorrow, which we're going to come on to, of course, in a minute. And the UK Open this weekend.
So, right. Let's crack on with the Premier League then.
Beautiful.
Right, as we see on the screen, we've got, of course, the prize fund on the side, as always, and the current league table at the bottom, which is topped, of course, by MVG. You can see the 3 sections. We've got, of course, the top spot for which is the playoff spot. Then the blue, which is the continue to second stage spot, and then of course just the one red section, which is the relegation on Judgment Night. But plenty of darts to be played before that.
Yeah, we expect those positions to switch around quite a lot, given that only one person's getting relegated. It's that's gonna chop and change, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a surprise to see Michael Smith at the bottom or something at the moment.
Yeah, despite the fact that as we can see there, 95.34 average, the level of darts has been a joke so far. To be honest, the standard of the game has been so good.
Yeah.
And tomorrow night should be no exception to that. We're kicking off with the contender, World Championship quarter-finalist, Coolham Luke Humphries, taking on really the man of the moment in World Darts, Gerwyn Price, for the last few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely absolutely on fire.
I mean, so as we know, he reeled off back-to-back titles on the Pro Tour at the weekend in Barnsley, and I think so. He played 14 games. Most of them were 10+ averages.
Yeah, and there were one of the ones that wasn't was 99.7 or something. It's
it's just frightening.
I think his lowest was 96, but he was playing somebody where 96 was easily winning. I can't
Sure.
remember who it was. Yeah, he's been absolutely on fire this season, and he's got the best treble 20 hit percentage of anybody I think I saw.
Yeah. I mean, it's Josh Payne played him in one of the games, and he said that he'd take his turn, walk to the back, look down for a second, look up, and Price had put his first two darts in the treble 20 almost every time.
Yeah,
And it's like, for me, it's pretty good to see that Gerwyn Price is kind of proving to the darting fans and everyone that he is not, he doesn't just win because of his antics, because he is a great player. The antics, he's going to have lovers and haters on that, but he showed at the weekend. Of course, there was no Michael van Gerwen, there was no Gary Anderson, but there's nothing to say that with those kind of averages that he posted, he wouldn't have beaten them anyway.
yeah, exactly. It's one of the things. He's got a bit of a point to prove, but he is proving it.
He is proving it, and this match against Humphreys will be no walk in the park. From what I found, it looked like they've only played once before. Unsurprising, as Luke hasn't been on the main tour for too long.
No.
And Humphreys actually battered Price in a European tour. At European Tour 2 last year, he averaged over 100 in a 6-1 victory.
Oh,
However,
that'll be in his mind.
of course, yeah, that's going to give him confidence. I can't see Gerwyn caring about that too much.
I mean, it's one Euro Tour event last year.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, for me, Price wins this one 7-3 or 7-4. I think Humphreys is a big 180 hitter. He will be all right, but I don't see him nicking anything.
Yeah, I'm thinking 7-3. Luke Humphreys will get some legs, but nothing too exciting.
Yeah, the way Price is playing, it would shock me if Humphreys managed to get a draw. So yeah, 7-3 I'm happy with on that one.
Cool.
And then just looking at those next four matches are just four absolute, just big hitters.
Yeah.
Some unreal darts are going to be thrown in those four games, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So we kick off with the second game, which would be Daryl Gurney against former world champion Rob Cross.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I think this one's a pretty close call. They've met 6 times, and currently 3 all on the head-to-head, 1 all in Premier League matches. Gurney won the first one 7-5, Cross won the second one 7-4 in last year's Premier League. This is a tricky one to call. Rob Cross didn't really show up last week against MVG.
Yeah, but I think he probably wins this against Gurney, but yeah, it's going to be close.
Yeah, I agree. It's a tough one to
7-5 probably.
I put 7-5 Cross.
Yeah.
Because he played some good darts on the Pro Tour at the weekend. MVG,
he's been playing well on the Pro Tour. He's just he's not quite made it all the way through, but it's a very tough.
Yeah, I mean he's still averaging 100
for
the first 3 weeks in the Premier League.
I think he's got the highest average of all. If you combine all the Players' Championship events together, he's got the highest average.
Yeah. I mean that says we know averages don't win darts matches, but they're a pretty good indicator.
It just shows he's playing well.
Certainly does. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that 7-5 Rob Cross on that one. Third game of the night. For me, this is the toughest one to call, simply because when you actually look back at the stats, Mensah loves playing against Peter Wright. Overall, the Gentle has a 9-8 head-to-head lead, but in 2018, Sulovic won 5 out of the 6 games against Peter Wright, which included a 7-1 thrashing in the Premier League early stages because Sulovic got relegated.
Yeah.
This is tough. Peter Wright showed some good resilience to beat Steve Lennon in Dublin last week.
Yeah, but that's Steve Lennon. Mensah Sulovic is a different animal, isn't he? So.
Mensah Sulovic is a completely different animal, but Peter Wright, I actually thought Peter Wright played really good against Steve Lennon. Steve Lennon was inspired as he sort of surged into a 3-0 lead.
Are you going to get that from the contenders, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Especially playing at home. They're coming out. So we saw it with Chris Dobie. They both started great, and then they kind of...
They realise, hold on a minute, I'm winning this, and sort of tail off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
or Dobie getting the draw in his case.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in this one?
Oh, I think it's probably, as you say, it's really close. It could be a draw, I think.
That was what I've predicted. I've gone with yeah, 6-6 all draw.
Yeah.
Uh, it's I don't see it being further than 7-5 each way to someone. I think it will go the full
Yeah.
12 legs.
Well, exactly. Well, it could be 7-5 Ments or maybe 7-4 right, just because of the throw.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. The bull off is going to be pretty important in that one. And for me,
It's
Mental is the
Mensah
best.
throwing in the first leg.
Yeah.
It was already done ahead of time. Um,
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
so yeah, I think if Mensah, I think yeah, it's going to be maximum one breaker throw.
Yeah.
Or at least one breaker throw. Advantage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy to leave that as a draw for now, and if it's one leg either way, then so be it.
I agree with you. Then of course, this next one is one of the tastiest rivalries that we've got in this year's Premier League. We've got MVG against James Wade. They've met 49 times before. MVG with a 34-15 head-to-head lead. He's won 6 out of the last 7 matches since the start of 2018, and the only one that Wadey won was the 2018 US Darts Masters in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling to, again, I say this every week. It feels valid every week at the moment. I don't see Wadey getting a point.
Yeah, I think MVG is probably gonna win it. I think James Wade will probably. It'll be a respectable scoreline, but probably looking 7-4.
I've wrote 7-3 or 7-4 on my sheet down here.
Yeah.
So yeah, 7-3 is more likely.
Yeah.
I just think.
Yeah. I mean, we'll go with 7-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see Wadey keeping up.
I did watch Wadey beat MVG in the opening night of the Premier League. I'm not sure if you were there too when we went to watch it in Leeds a couple of years back.
No, I missed that one. You and the boys went. I missed it because I sprained ankle.
Yeah, I mean that was a serious night of darts, and Wade was just inspired. I think Barney played Phil Taylor, and Barney hit his first 6 darts at a double. It was just a crazy night of darts.
Yeah.
But I don't see this. I think MVG's pretty settled. He's going to be refreshed as well, having not gone to Barnsley at the weekend.
Yeah.
And yeah, comfortable MVG win for me in this one.
Okay. So the last game of the evening tomorrow will be Michael Smith and Raymond van Barneveld. Michael Smith nursing an injury, of course. He had to have emergency surgery to remove an abscess, so he'll be strapped up a little bit, apparently. So he is playing, and he's also playing at the UK Open at the weekend, but he's not sure how it's going to affect him. Do you think that will be a part of the game tomorrow?
I personally do, just because what Michael Smith is like is that, I think he's just a free thrower. So I think when his mind is clear, he can step up at a dartboard and hit 180, 180, 180, hit massive combo checks.
Yeah.
But, he's going to have had the stress of not knowing what the sort of lump, or I can't remember what he described it as, a big red mark or something on his...
Yeah, it was an abscess.
Yeah, which turned into an abscess, but I know that he wasn't sure.
Yeah, he said something about how having something there that was bothering him a little bit, but he's I think he said in typical bloke form, exactly. I didn't do anything about it, and then it got a lot worse. So something to be said there for getting things checked out.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's going to have a bit of stress on him. I think how Barney played last week and the last few weeks, Barney's been fighting.
Yeah.
I've actually gone with a 7-5 Barney win on this one. They're 7.
Yeah, I think it will be Barney's opportunity to get some points here. Yeah.
So just because Smith, I think he would probably take at the moment getting a draw here and then having a good run at the UK Open, just given the slightly stressful week. So he knows that this isn't the be all and end all of his Premier League.
Yeah, I think 'cause some of the bookies are offering 3-1 on Barney, and I think that's a good shout
Yeah, that's
given
uh,
the exceptional circumstances of Michael Smith.
yeah. Barney has never beaten Smith in the Premier League. I think Smith won twice, including I think it was 7-0 in one of the games, and there's
Mm.
been a draw between the pair. But uh, Barney's not going to do what he sometimes has done in the past, where he just throws darts,
Yeah,
casually when he's accepting defeat, kind of looking like he doesn't care. It's his last season. He's going to be zoned in
yeah,
every throw, and I actually think that's going to get him over the line tomorrow.
yeah. I think so. I think he'll make it. He'll get some points up on the board and start to climb that leaderboard.
Yeah, get a win under his belt, given the 2 weeks of draws on the two of his last three games.
Yeah. So there we have it. The predictions for this week, and we'll see how accurate they are tomorrow night.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good to me. I don't think our success rate has been too bad. I've been doing a couple of predictor leagues that some of the people have sent me in on Instagram, and some people are doing sensationally good. I'm kind of in fourth or fifth in quite a load of them, which have been, the same predictions that we've put in. You don't know whether both men are going to turn up.
Yeah,
But
we're, ha- we're having a bit of difficulty with the stream there. You just cut out
I saw that temporarily.
with the feed there. So what you just said, do you want to go through it again quickly?
Yeah, I mean, I think the draw prediction is always a tough one because you never know whether both players are slightly off, whether one of them might have their mind on the UK Open.
Mhm.
But I'm fairly confident with these predictions.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how we go, and of course the UK Open will be a very interesting weekend, and then is it the week
Inter-
after that is the Dev Tour,
Yeah,
which will be very interesting darts as well.
certainly will. Yeah, we're going to be back again this time next week. Make sure, as always, that you subscribe to all of our various channels, as you can see above and below our screens. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and we'll be back soon.
Right, have a good one, and enjoy the big weekend of darts.
Cheers, everybody. Bye bye.